Okay, let's do this other scenario. Let's say it's the expanse scenario, and somebody in the outer solar system, this is the colonized solar system, somebody in the outer solar system is hostile to Earth, and they keep sending asteroids into the inner solar system to attack Earth. How do we create a planetary defense against that?
Okay, so we said if there's an asteroid coming down to Earth, the best thing we can do is first assess where they are. Secondly, attach little tiny thruster rockets and just nudge the asteroid out of the way. Would you nudge it in the plane of the system, of the solar system, or would you push it perpendicular, make it orbit this way?
So I think you want the orbit after the nudge to be as predictable as possible. So I think you want to minimize.
Predictable and least likely for us to encounter the object again on a different pass. Right. So say you have the Earth, and there's an asteroid coming towards it. If we nudge it out of the way so that it passes, well, it could hit us at some other time. So how do we do that? How do we push an asteroid intelligently such that we're done with it? Don't have to worry about it.
Oh, I see. So my mind went to two things. First one is you do the immediate nudge to get it off the path of Earth. However,
deal with the problem later.
Right. And then,
That's the future's problem.
Exactly. So you nudge it so it doesn't hit Earth on that pass. Okay, take care of that. And at least you could probably calculate it for the next 10 passes or something very reliably.
10.
Okay. Then you send us, after that's the immediate crisis has been avoided, you send up a second one that puts it into some kind of circular orbit that's nice and stable around the sun, so that it is not an Earth intersecting asteroid anymore. If you try to combine both into one, that could be a distraction that gets to be too much. So take care of the immediate crisis. So I would make it 2 missions. And then once you do 2 missions for the first run, then you can prepare to take care of both in one shot the next time it happens.
Yeah, and actually, I guess the even better thing to do is to harvest the asteroid, figure out some way to put it in one of the Earth Lagrange points, and then just mineral delivery.
Oh man! So if people in the outer solar system are sending asteroids in, we're just parking them at the Lagrange points and mining them.
Thanks. It would have been real hard for us to get out there.
So here's a question.
That would sublimate. Go ahead.
So this is actually the economics of mining asteroids. So right now, there are asteroids out there just packed with metals and materials that are worth tons. And who knows what would be on there, but
tons.
Yeah. I mean, everything has a mass that can be measured in tons. Like you could be measured in tons.
I am a microton.
Yeah, exactly. But you can be measured in tons. Is it weird that the unit that is used implies a certain scale, but that's not necessary?
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway. So there's all these materials out there. The worth of those materials is enormous.
It's astronomical.
It's astronomical. It's asteroidonomical.
That describes some type of scale of the denomination. It's asteroid. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. So financially, the investment required is probably much smaller than the worth of the materials on the asteroid. But the total investment required at the beginning is huge. It's just the amount of money could be made on one particular asteroid is hugier. So why aren't we going to mine asteroids right now? It's expensive, but you're going to make more money doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it takes us $10 billion, even $10 trillion, the amount of materials, or the amount of materials we can harvest from an asteroid it would pay for it with ease. Well, I mean, suppose we find like a gold deposit, which I guess could be out there, but although rare. No, I guess there are. Well, is there gold?
Well, there's probably gold and platinum. Well, the thing is, if you find too much of it, it crashes the price of that metal, so it's no longer worth that much.
Right.
So I was thinking on the smaller scale. Let's say it takes 20 billion to mine an asteroid, which is a ton of money, but that's very doable. The amount of materials, if you're the first one on that to mine an asteroid and bring materials back, 20 billion. I mean, if you have platinum, gold, all kinds of rare metals on there, that you could just, it's basically just right there on the surface.
Yeah.
And you bring it back, your return on investment would be enormous. So why aren't we doing it? 20 trillion in your previous example may be a bit too much because that's something
hard to say. I mean, how big is an asteroid? I mean, it's huge. Like I guess it depends on the size of the asteroid, and depends on the composition. I don't know what that would be like a priori.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is 20 trillion is getting to a significant percentage of the entire world economy, which may be difficult to leverage considering constraints. But 20 billion, that's such a tiny percentage of the world economy, it almost doesn't make sense to me why we're not doing it.
If you think about like so the way I thought about it was in terms of like gold for circuits, and we need lots of gold. We need to make lots of electronics, and the gold can be recovered from circuits, although not 100% efficiently, and also stuff is just lost, like you're thrown away in landfills and shit. So if you can get to an asteroid even at $20 trillion, you just park it outside the Earth, and very few people have access to it. You can dole that out whenever you want, and then from a human perspective, from like a human as the entire planet, then we have all this resources that we could use for whatever we need.
I guess my argument there is 20 trillion is such a significant percentage of the world GDP that wouldn't be able to be, that kind of money wouldn't be able to be spent because it's requiring too much of the world output. Because you could be like, okay, we could require, let's say something mining the nearest, all the asteroids in the solar system requires $1 quadrillion.
Okay. And
the return is 5 quadrillion, but we don't have the ability to leverage $1 quadrillion.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was imagining a solution where if we could get the entire world to work together for 4 years, this type of thing, it would still be worth it. But you're saying the actual practicality of getting everyone to work together, that's too much.
Right. But if it's like a $20 billion investment, I feel like that could happen because you don't need the whole world to come together in this like Independence Day scenario.
Yeah, imagine if one of the superpowers on the Earth did that, and they're like, we're going to park this asteroid next to the moon and we're going to harvest it. Would other superpowers be like, no, I want some of that piece. I want a piece of that. And then now they have to like defend the asteroid in space.
I think so.